How's everybody doing today? Okay, we're gonna jump right into the card. Now first, I was still getting ready when we went live, so I hope I have everything prepared. So on Sunday, I posted on my Facebook page and I said, do you want to see a card done with the Wildly Happy stamp set, this cute stamp set, or do you want to see a card with the Back on Your Feet stamp set? Now, overwhelmingly, the overwhelming response was Back on Your Feet. You guys really wanted to see this one, which I can't deny, you guys. It's so cute. It's one of the cutest sets, I think. But then there were specific requests for the Sloth, and of course, because he's so cute. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a really cute card with the Back on Your Feet stamp set with the Sloth. Now, if you are part of my VIP group, I will be going live on Friday for a bonus card using the Wildly Happy stamp set. So if you did want the Wildly Happy stamp set, join my Facebook group, my VIP group, and I will link it in the comments after the video. You can join my group. And on Friday, I don't know a time yet. Our summer schedule is still, we're still in summer, so I don't know time yet, but I will be posting it probably Thursday for the time, and you can see a bonus video only in my VIP group. This video will, the Wildly Happy video on Friday will not go up on my YouTube channel. It'll just be for my VIP group members. So make sure you join my VIP group, which I will, again, list the link in the comments when the video is done. But today we're going to use that Sloth. But before we get to the card, you guys know we're going to talk about some specials, but we are in the last couple of days of this month. So the bonus days, the earning period, you only have until tomorrow by like 11:50 p.m. Mountain Time. You got to get your orders in to earn your $5 coupon. So every $50 you spend, you get a $5 coupon to use in August. There's no limit to how many you can earn. If you spend $100, you're going to get $10 worth of coupons, and then you use those on an order in August. So earning days are almost done. You only have till tomorrow. Make sure you earn those coupons. You can save in August. And then we still have our amazing joining special. When you join my team, you get an extra $30 in your kit. That's $155 total in your starter kit when you purchase a starter kit from me. So that's $155 of products of your choice for only $99. So that's an incredible deal. So, and remember, when you join Stampin' Up, you don't have to do classes, you don't have to sell, you don't have to do any of that. You're really just joining to get a discount. And then if you want to sell, if you want to do videos, that's all extra. You can do that. I'd be happy to talk to you about all that. And my team, we have so much fun. We had a meeting last week, and we had so much fun at the meeting. We actually hung around even after the meeting was done and just chatted because we had so much fun. And my team has some really special things coming up in the next couple months. So this is a great time to join. We have a virtual meeting in August. So that's only in our Facebook, our private Facebook group. I do a Facebook Live. I send out make and takes. It's a lot of fun. We all stamp together. In September, we're having a really fun team meeting again. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm not going to give too many details, but it's going to be so much fun. You don't want to miss it. Okay, so this is the card we're making, you guys. Isn't he cute? Okay, I'm going to hold him up. Now, he's so cute. Look at how cute he is. Sigh. And I just love this card. I love like the earthy tones of the browns and the greens, and then that pop of Pool Party. It's just so pretty. It's so fun. So, and you can use this layout with any one of those little guys in the stamp. If you use the giraffe, you might have to make your card go this way to make him fit. But you could absolutely do the turtle the same way, and of course the sloth. So we're gonna actually start with stamping and coloring our sloth because we're gonna watercolor today, you guys. I know that normally when I color, I reach for my blends, but today we're watercoloring, which is fine. I love watercoloring, actually. That was my go-to coloring method before the blends, and now with the blends I don't hardly ever watercolor anymore, which is sad because I love it. So just a couple of things you want to remember with watercolor though, because watercoloring is a very different coloring medium than our Stampin' Blends, which I know probably a lot of you are used to. With watercoloring, you want to use StazOn ink. So I'm using our black StazOn ink. This is a waterproof ink, so that when the water goes over all those stamped lines, it's not going to, the ink won't bleed into it. So you want to make sure you're using a waterproof ink like StazOn. Not Memento. When you watercolor, you definitely do not want Memento when you watercolor. I'm going to stamp him this way. We're going to die cut him in a minute, so it really doesn't matter how he's stamped. If he's crooked, it won't matter. Just want to get him stamped. Look how cute he is. Okay, so when you're watercoloring, you definitely want stays on. I am going to clean this right away because it stays on. I don't like to leave stays on sit on my stamp sets right away, so I'm just going to grab my chamois and I'm just going to clean that off. And the chamois does a pretty good job of getting it off. It will stain a little bit, but that's okay. As long as we get the bulk of that ink off, we're good. Okay, I'm going to put that aside, and we're going to talk about watercoloring while he dries for just a second. Now, I am going to be using aqua painters. These are the aqua painters that we sell. And I love these, especially for techniques like watercolor washes and stuff like that. But you'll notice that these tips are pretty big. They're pretty blunt. And mine are so well used because I've used them a ton. And this one, is it this one? This one, it's all rubbed off. But this one is actually used only for alcohol for a while. So, anyway, that's a different technique for another day. But I also have this one that I got on Amazon, and you can see the tip on this one is much smaller. It's a much finer tip. So this is the one we're actually using today, because of some of the small spots that we're going to be getting into. These bolder, more blunt tips just won't do a good job getting into those. So we are going to put these aside, but these are great for other techniques. I still recommend having a set of these. Now, if you don't have a smaller tipped aqua painter, that's fine. When you're watercoloring, you can use a blender pen. And these are not to be confused with our Stampin' Blends, which let me show you. See the difference? Our blender pen is like a clear pen, and you just use it to pick up ink or to spread ink around. And it's completely clear, and you can just use it like a marker, and it has a much finer tip. So we won't be using this today, but this is also a really, really good option if you don't have an aqua painter. And you get a pack of 3 of those for around $10, I think, so it's a really great deal. Now, what we're going to be using to watercolor with is our watercolor pencils. We have 2 sets of these. We have assortment 1 and assortment 2. I'm going to be using the first one. I'm just going to dump them out. I'm only using a few of these, actually, but I got to dump them all out. I really love our watercolor pencils, and if you're new to watercoloring, the watercolor pencils are really an affordable, great way to go. And if you don't want to watercolor with them, just use them as colored pencils. That works too, you guys. And nobody's going to judge you, don't worry. Okay, we're going to start with our Sloth. I'm going to use our Early Espresso, and I love our watercolor pencils because they're all labeled. I don't know if the camera will focus on that, but they're all labeled, and they all have numbers. When you look on the back, it tells you which one is which, so I love our watercolor pencils. Now I'm going to go straight onto my little Sloth with my pencil, and I'm not going to be too precise about how I color this because we're going to be blending all these colors together. But I do want to lay down more color where he's going to be darker. So like under his neck here, it's going to be naturally darker. Over here, like on the branch, it's going to be darker. On his back leg, there's going to be lots of shadows, so that one's going to be darker. This one too. This one. And I'm just going to lay down kind of lots of color just to blend out. Okay, so again, not too precise, not really pretty. That's okay, we're not worrying about that. And then I'm just going to go in with my aqua painter. I have a paper towel ready. My dog is going to bark. There's some dogs outside barking. If you hear my dog barking, I apologize. He feels he needs to protect us from everything, whether it is other dogs or cats or the UPS man. So he's we love him though. He's a silly little dog. So we are just, you can see that with my Chase. Sorry guys. Hope he's not getting your dogs all riled up too. You can see that with the blend, or not with the blender pen, with the aqua painter, it's just moving that color so freely and so easily. If I need a darker color, I'm just gonna go over. Oh my gosh, he's convinced that there's something outside that's gonna kill us. I'm gonna go over it, and it's gonna just blend it all out. And up here on his back, that's where the lightest part is gonna be, because that's where the light's gonna shine on it. So isn't that cute? Now, if you feel you need some more color, you can go back in with your watercolor pencil and color directly onto it. I like to take the tip of my aqua painter and just pick it up and just bring in the color that way. I feel you get a smoother transition that way. So I'm just gonna color his back a little bit more. I'm gonna add some more color. And I'm just picking that up just from the pencil. So cute. He's so cute already. Okay, now again, I have a paper towel next to me. I'm just gonna squeeze my aqua painter, just get all that brown out. And we're going to move on to our gray. Where's my gray? I don't want black, I want a gray. So I'm gonna use my basic gray, and I'm just gonna add, I'm gonna pick it up just with the tip. I'm gonna go tip to tip because I don't want too much color on his little bandage, but I do want a little bit of shading because I don't want that to be completely white. This is pretty wet. I don't want my aqua painter too wet. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of shading to his bandage. I'm gonna wipe that off, and we're gonna go in with our old olive now, and we're gonna color our leaves. I'm just gonna turn him so I can get to the leaves better. And I'm pretty much coloring one side of the leaves, and then I'll just blend into the other side, and that'll give some nice shading. So I'm gonna just bring in my aqua painter and color those little leaves. Now I am using some shimmery white paper. When you are watercoloring, you definitely want to use either our shimmer white paper or our watercolor paper. You do not want to use our whisper white paper. It just can't handle the amount of moisture you're going to put down. Now we're going to work on the little branch, but I don't want the branch to be the same color as our sloth because it'll kind of blend together, but I only have the one brown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go real dark on the bottom of the branch, and then I'm going to come in with my green on the top of the branch. And then when we blend this together, it'll give a real nice earthy brown that will be very different from the sloth color. So you'll be able to tell the difference that way. So very nice. Really love that. And then I'm just going to come over here and do a little bit on that. So you can see how this is coming together already. Isn't he so sweet? Now we do need to do his face a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in with my early espresso, and I'm going to go over his little, around his eyes and around his little nose or his mouth, whatever that is. And then I'm going to also take my gray and just add a little bit of gray on his face. And then with my aqua painter, I'm just going to blend all of that together. The gray and the brown, it's all going to blend together. And that's going to give a nice little, no, that's a little dark. I'm just going to pick a little bit of that off with my paper towel. So if you feel like the color is too dark, just add a little water, and then you can dab it with your paper towel and it'll pick up some of that color. So I think that's good. We just want a little bit of color variation there. I probably put a little bit of too much early espresso in there. Now the last thing we need to color is just his little claws down on the bottom, and those are so super tiny. You could really just go in with the pencil. You don't even have to blend it, but I'm just gonna go tip to tip here, and I'm just using my black, and I'm just really just like one swipe is all I'm doing for his little claws. You don't have to worry too much about these. This is not the part people are gonna look at, especially right there. I went out of the lines, but again, people aren't gonna be focusing on his claws because the rest of him is so cute. So I'm gonna go in a little bit with a clean brush right here where I went out, and then just dab a little bit of that color off. So there is our really cute little sloth. Isn't he cute? So cute. So we are done coloring. So I'm gonna put away my pencils. And again, the watercolor pencils are a really affordable way to just get started into watercoloring. They're so easy to use. They're so much fun. We have a couple different assortments, so you can choose which colors you think you like better. We have assortment 1 and assortment 2. So there's different markers or different pencils in each one. And if you don't want to watercolor with them, just use them as regular pencils. I've done that too. So our little sloth, let's see, how wet is he? He's not too wet. We're gonna go ahead and die cut him. You could, if he was really wet, you could use a heat tool and speed up the drying process. I am using, to cut him out, I'm using our stitch nested label dies. I am using, what is this, like the 3rd largest, I guess. So I'm gonna put that aside. I'm gonna bring in my die cutting machine, and I have my magnetic platform on top. And I have him on top. Oh, and there was one thing that I forgot to do on him, but we'll have to wait till he's completely dry before we go back in. So we'll go in and die cut him first. Was one little thing I meant to do, which I think helps him pop. So cut him out. My dog is bringing his food into my craft room now because I don't know, he thinks he needs me to see it. So he's having some issues today, I think. Oh well. We're going to save this piece. We're going to stamp our greeting on this, so don't get rid of that one. Now, we're going to go back in. I'm going to bring in my colored pencils, or my watercolor pencils, one more time. And I'm going to grab my Bermuda Bay one. Let me see if I can just grab that one out. Where is it? It's in the corner, of course. I'm going to grab my Bermuda Bay one. And what I'm going to do, and I don't know if you can see on here, but there is like a little blue halo around him, and because he's just stamped flat on the paper, that blue halo really makes him pop. If we had where's my paper towel, if we had framelits or dies to cut him out, that would really make him pop more, but because we don't have those, this little blue halo works really, really great for doing that. And I do it a lot with my Pool Party Stampin' Blend too. So all I'm going to do, and I don't want this too dark, so I'm going to make sure I go off on my paper towel first, and then I'm just going to go around, and I'm not being too particular. I kind of want this to be a little messy so that the lines just kind of fade out. But every time I go tip to tip to my pencil, I'm going to dab it off on my paper towel so it's not too dark. And if it is too dark, you just add more water like we did earlier and just sop up a little bit of it, and it's fine. But the thing you want to remember with watercoloring is that the color will dry lighter than it looks when it's wet. So if it looks really dark, it's going to dry a little bit lighter. The color variation will be slightly different once it's dry. And so I'm just going around all these, and it's a little, if you have a real complicated image, it could be a little tedious, but it really makes a big difference in the end. And that's a little messy. I'm gonna, just to have that little blue halo is really great. And ideally I'd want to use like a Pool Party or a Coastal Cabana for this, but we don't have that color of pencil, so I'm just using Bermuda Bay and just making sure that I get a nice diluted Bermuda Bay. In our assortment number 2 pencils, I could use those. There's a Balmy Blue, which would work really well, and what else is in there? Oh, we do have a Coastal Cabana in there. I could have used that one, but I wanted to show you just from that first assortment that you could do this. So, Coastal Cabana is my favorite. I'm surprised I didn't know that. Okay, so we're gonna let that all dry, and that will really just make it pop once it dries, and it'll dry pretty quickly, especially here in New Mexico where it's nice and dry and hot. It'll dry fairly quickly. So we're going to set this aside and assemble the rest of our card. He's so cute. Okay, let's get to the rest of our stamping. I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to pull in our card so we know what we're making. I'm going to stamp this little sigh here, and the greetings that I'm using are from the same stamp set, from the Back on Your Feet stamp set. I'll get that back out and show you. So we're using this one, Sigh, and then on the inside of the card, I have sometimes that's all there is to say, and then I'm here for you. So super cute. This is a really fun, encouraging card. So I have early espresso ink here, and I'm just gonna stamp that down. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be straight. We're gonna punch it out. Oh, I'm gonna leave that open. I'm gonna stamp one more thing, but let's punch this out real quick. My classic label punch. This is gonna fit perfectly in there. I'm just gonna line that up, give it a punch. We'll trim that down in a minute. We are now done with that scrap piece of white, and I'm gonna bring in my card base. So for my card base, I have a piece that is 11 by 4 1/4, and I have scored it at 5 1/2. And let's stamp that inside greeting. We're gonna hope I get it nice and straight. If not, we'll just cut a piece to go inside over it, right? That's what I do all the time. I don't stamp a lot of greetings on the inside, mostly because I really want I don't know who my cards are going to a lot of the time, so I want to make sure it's personal for them. So I got that pretty straight. I think I'm happy with that. So we have that on the inside. So we're gonna put that aside. Now we're gonna close our ink pad because I just got it all over my finger. I knew that was gonna happen. Hang on, let me wipe my finger because we'll get that all over the card. Okay, so we have our card base. Let's work on the other parts of our card. I have a piece of early espresso that is 5 1/4 by 4. I have a piece of Pool Party that I've already embossed using the Layering Leaves embossing folder, and that is 3 3/4 by 5. That's gonna go right on top of our early espresso. And then I have a piece of DSP from our, what is it, our Neutrals collection. This will eventually be, what is this, 5? It's 1 1/4, I believe it's 1 1/4. It's 1 1/4 wide and it'll be 5 tall. It's 6 tall now. The paper comes in 6 by 6 stacks. I just haven't trimmed it yet. We'll trim it in a minute. And then I just have a little 1/4 inch strip of early espresso. That will go on our greeting as well. And I've already tied a linen thread bow, a little double bow. I tied this in advance just to save a little bit of time. And that's all our pieces. So let's start assembling. I'm going to start with my DSP piece here. So I love the little gingham side, so I'm going to use that side. And I'm going to stick it right to that right side of the embossed leaves Pool Party piece. It's going to go right on the side, right on the edge. And like I said, I'm just going to turn that over and trim it off. You could trim it ahead of time, but it was easier for me to do it this way, so that's what I did, you guys. That's how I stamp too. That's how I stamp at home. Oh, and one thing I forgot, where did it go? Oh man, did it fall? I'm gonna have to cut another piece. I don't know where it went. Our little ribbon here. I don't know where that piece went. We'll find it. I'll find it. It's probably on the floor somewhere. The dog probably took it. Poor dog. I'm blaming him for everything. He's got some issues, our poor little dog, but he's so sweet and the kids love him. He's such a sweet dog. Okay, so I've just matted that onto our early espresso piece, and that is going straight down onto our card base. I know you guys are like, wait a minute, there's no dimensionals on this card. Don't worry, they're coming. Don't worry. I'm using snail to adhere everything. You could use whatever adhesive you like. If you're a fan of liquid glue, you can use that. So we have that. I need to get another piece of my ribbon. I don't know where the heck it went. Okay. I am using the, what is this called? This is a scallop linen. It comes in all 5 of our new in colors. It doesn't matter what color you choose because we're going to be using the back, so it'll never show. So I want a piece that's about this long. That is about, let me see, 4 1/4. It's about 4 1/4 long. And I'm going to take glue dots. Oh man, I didn't get those out either. I thought I was so prepared. I'm never prepared. Never, never, never. And I can't leave glue dots out on my desk because my cat loves this little waxy paper stuff. And if she hears me using glue dots, she'll actually come running and then she'll try to eat that waxy part. So I cannot, and she's stolen rolls of glue dots from my desk, so I cannot leave them out on my desk. So those always have to be put away. We learned that the hard way. So this is gonna go right on that edge of the DSP, just like that, the colored side down. So all you get is that linen color, so cute. And then we have our sloth. We're gonna stick him on with lots of dimensionals. Now the paper might be a little bit warped from the water, so you wanna just make sure you use plenty of dimensionals here, because you want to make sure he sits nice and flat on your card. Okay, we're almost done. This card was so cute and I had a lot of fun making it. This whole set is so cute. The back on your feet set, I think, is one of like my top favorites. I just love it. And I think it's so good for just those cards you need for a friend when you just want to send a little bit of extra encouragement. You're not really sure what to say, but you just want to send something. These cards are so great for that. This stamp set is so great for that. So I'm just going to set our sloth down. He's a little off center. Don't like him there. Move over. Just going to set him down kind of toward the bottom. Make sure he's straight. So that's pretty good. I'm going to give him a press down. Okay, all we need to do is add our greeting. So I'm going to trim this. I'm going to trim the sides just at an angle, making a nice pile of trash here. And on the back of this, we're going to put some adhesive. And then I'm gonna put that 1/4-inch strip just on the bottom, just so that it's, the very bottom is showing there. Then I'm gonna go back in with my scissors and just mirror that same trimming. Just like that. Perfect. And I'm gonna stick this on with glue dots. Just one on the right side because the left side is gonna hang off. So I just have one on this side. I'm gonna stick that down right there on the bottom left. So cute. And then all we have is our bow, our little linen bow. I'm gonna add that with a glue dot as well. Just stick that onto my glue dots and stick that right on the bottom, right where that linen thread is. Isn't that cute? Or not linen thread, whatever the scalloped ribbon. Isn't that cute? So cute. So I hope you guys like this card. If you have any questions, please let me know. Now remember, in my Facebook group, in my VIP group, I will be doing a bonus card using the Wildly Happy stamp set, which was not chosen for today's Facebook Live. I'll be doing that on Friday. So make sure to watch my group page on Thursday for an announcement of a time. And if you're not part of my group, make sure to join my group. I'll put a link in the comments when the video is done. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you want to order any of these products, please head to my website. Use the host code. This host code is only good through tomorrow. In August, I'll have a brand new host code, and I'll make sure to post that on August 1st. So I think that's it, you guys. If you guys love this card, please give me a thumbs up and share the video. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments or send me a message. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.